Perfect. Perfect.
All right, so the all right, so we've had 1 week of build on the Hilux, and basically we cut out the firewall to fit the engine so that it can get set back into the cab pretty much, so that we can actually fit the water pump between like the fan in here, so the water pump fits. And where we're at now is this bolt broke off when I took the intake manifold off. So it is a cast iron head and a steel bolt, and it is used in there. So I doubt I'll ever be able to get it out, and if I do, I doubt I can ever get the hole correct again, because they're on kind of like weird angles and they're not square to anything. So it's all too hard. So I got another cylinder head, which you saw Luke painting the other night. So this one has no broken bolts in either side, which is nice. So I don't know if it's this one or this one, but it's a symmetrical head, so it'll just go straight on. So I've already put the rockers across, all the push rods are over there, numbered. So now I've just got to pull this head off, clean the mating surface down, put a head gasket in there, put the new head on, figure out what torque specs to do it at. I don't think Luke owns a torque wrench, so I might do that later, but torque it all down. And then we got a VRS kit here as well. It's got like water pump and, you know, intake manifold, exhaust manifold, rocker covers, all sorts of stuff, and a couple of head gaskets. So I might start putting that together today as well. I'm not too sure, but I need to take away these rocker covers and these bits off the head, because we're going to paint them. Probably put the new water pump on, I'm not sure, but there's just a whole bunch more things that we're going to start painting on this engine, so that it's all fiddly bits black, which is the primo paint setup. So we just buy this from Bunnings. It's a couple of bucks, goes on easy, sets nice and glossy. It's a beautiful product, absolutely beautiful. Fiddly bits, if you ever want to sponsor us, gladly accept any number of paint tins in different colors and whatnot. So I also need to find the correct blue, so I think we're going to go with crinkle black on the body of the rocker covers and these things, and then blue on the inside of these stripes, and then I might rub paint off of these so they're like a silver finish or an alloy finish or whatever. So got to do both of these, both of those, and then we'll leave the rocker cover, the intake manifold as like brushed, whatever. I'll try and run over it again with the brush, because you can see there's a couple bits of grease on it, just to clean it up once we finally get it in. But yeah, that should be that. And then we've got the oil pump over here, so I need to get gaskets for that. I also need to get a sump gasket, because our sump is attached. But we're probably going to have to cut somewhere around here and move this down that end, something to that effect. Just going to make it interesting for our dipstick, which is perfectly placed right now, but we don't want to have the front axle smashing into the sump, so we'll figure that out. Got to get another bolt for this. Yeah, gaskets. I need a gasket for here. Just gaskets. Lots of stuff. The guy who lives across the street thinks he has a power steering pump that we can have, because the one that we bought for this for $50 off Facebook, this one down here, is for the opposite side of the engine, so that's not going to work, because that's where our alternator goes. So probably not going to fly, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's my job for today. Do a little bit of painting, do a little bit of cleaning. Definitely want to get that head swapped, and we'll just start trying to piece as much but also as little of it together as we can, so that when we install it into the car, it's not a huge drama, because it is a tight squeeze. So yeah, let's go have a look at the car now. Alright, so this is pretty much where we ended up at the end of the weekend. So we managed to get the, so this has got the auto and then the adapter and then the twin transfers down at the back. So we got the twin transfers mounted up with the cross member that you guys saw me or Luke and I make earlier. And now we've got this engine shaped hole in the firewall. So you can see there's some bits like across the top here that need to get trimmed up a little nicer. Luke's remarked some of them. We've also got bits like down here need to get clearanced a little bit more for the headers. I think down here as well. But all in all, it's pretty much how it's going to look at the end. So there's bits with the steering that I need to touch up. So there's a bolt missing here, and this bolt here doesn't really do anything. So I'll try and fix those up as best I can. I've also got to cut these old engine mounts off. So I think the plan is we're going to do 90-degree piece here with holes drilled in it and nuts welded on the back, and then inserting that into the chassis rail and welding around it to hold that in place, and then doing another 90 piece on top that bolts in and then has a bar going off of it, welding to the plate that's attached to the engine. So the engine will be solid mounted, but the mounts will obviously be removable. I might fix up these fuel lines because they just come in here and just loop around for no reason whatsoever. So I'll see what I can do there, because that's right where the exhaust goes. So I might even try and tuck it over the other side there if I can manage. We'll see. The auto and the transfer cases. So we encountered this problem the other day. We don't know what it is, but basically when it's in gear, it doesn't let the car roll. So when the hubs are locked and the transmission, the transfer case, I don't even know, but basically for some reason it's not spinning. So something inside the transmission or the transfer cases is stopping it. So imagine it's in park and you try and roll it back and forth and it just binds up. So that is going to be a huge problem if we can't solve it. So we need to figure that out. But I don't know enough about four-wheel drive garbage, so that'll probably be for when Luke gets here. I'll talk to him and I might pull the transmission out, but I doubt it. Other than that, we have just got to... Hey, stop eating that. The rear suspension setup that we made worked really, really well, and when we're at the May mashup, I think it is, which is basically Hilux meet, we went up the flex ramp, and this thing just was incredible. Apparently, we didn't see anybody else drive the flex ramp during the day. They had a competition, but some of the spectators reckon we would have won if we were there, so that's always a good sign. But at the moment, it's all ratchet strapped together because this 3-link is still in pieces, so that's annoying. But yeah, we're gonna have to cut the drive shaft up and make another one, or remake the one that we've got. But this plate here is a little bit bent, and that was where we were mounting our coil locator thing to. So I might try and straighten that out and see if I can just bolt in this like an arm thing, whatever it is. That one over there is the same. So it just bolts from the top of the coil to there. So I might try and do that so that we've at least got mostly working rear suspension, and then we just have to remake this top link and the drive shaft, and then that's all done. As for the interior, we'll probably just leave the carpet out. We'll probably leave this hole as well, and it'll just be a really nice heater. We might, Luke's got this all in, we might block one of these off. I think it's this one, has to be blocked off, and then cut this out a bit and put a stick in there. And then the shifter for the auto is just down here, so probably cut out a bit of a hole here, and then have some sort of super awesome rat fink shifter thing. But all that will have to come in good time. I think that's about it really. Trying to get some bigger tyres, but yeah, should be right to go otherwise. So I gotta get stuck into this piece of crap, and hopefully we can get enough done by, so at the moment it's the 2nd of June. This car has to be running and driving by this weekend. So today's Tuesday, so that means Sunday night we want it running and driving, and then the following Saturday is the event, and that's at Swan Gully. So we've got essentially 2.5 days of wrenching left before we've got to go. And also, I think that's a possum in there, just hanging out in that little box there. So yeah, wish us luck, we're going to need it.